Okay, so it cut off, but all I'm saying here is that we want to compare, these the differences between that affected group that we had isolated and people of the same class or people of the same group, and look at specific scenarios in which they got misplaced and understand why exactly this happened. What this is going to allow us to do is to create a response. So if we identify, for example, that the males that are being miscorrectly labeled as being group 0 tend to have a checking amount or a credit amount, but within a certain range, it might mean that it's too neutral, and so the machine, instead of placing them in one category, is ending up placing them in another category because it doesn't really affect their score, for example. Just a random example. In any case, from this, I can create a plan of action. So let's see how exactly this is done. So I run understand SHAP, X-test, Y-test, model, label, sensitive, etc., etc. And I create a SHAP explainer for the model that I've selected. From there, I can run the explainer, and I can create and I can obtain my SHAP values. Here I have a variable called sense global cohorts, which is essentially the representation that we obtain right here. And then I have a miss class, which is just showing me all the people that have been incorrectly labeled. And from there, I want to be isolating the group and the exact group and target that I want to be looking at. So in our case, we wanted to look at males that were incorrectly labeled as being in group 0 when they should be in group 1. And from there, I'm able to run the explainer and obtain my SHAP values for the score. So here I have SHAP values and SHAP values 2, which represent SHAP values and SHAP values 2, comparing the two. And then from there, I can run, I plot them, which we saw previously. And these are the model importance comparison, which is essentially what we're looking at here and here, comparing the characteristics of our users to those of the overall data set or the correct or the true labeling class. This is essentially what's happening all the way over here. And finally, we're left with this section, which is the last section here, where we extract a random user right here, and we run our waterfall model or our waterfall plot so that we can see how exactly that decision was made.